All right, so in this video, we're going to talk about theme and figurative language. Specifically, I'll be referring to a short story called Nadia the Willful that you'll be reading. If you haven't read it yet, please stop, go read it, or listen to the audio file before going on with the video, because it won't make as much sense if you haven't actually read the story. All right, so idioms. They are a type of figurative language that we'll be focusing on. When you say things, then it doesn't mean exactly what you're saying. So literal language is when you say something, it means exactly that. Figurative language is when you say things that mean something different. For example, I'm tongue-tied does not mean your tongue is tied in an actual knot or anything. It just means you're having trouble speaking. Zip your lips does not mean you have a zipper on your lips. It just means be quiet, stop talking. Knew no bounds. That's one from the story. It doesn't mean like you didn't know any bounds. It means that like it has something that has no limits. Felt an easing of the hurt means feeling less pain. This is probably the clearest one. Sharp of tongue, like it doesn't mean that you have a sharp tongue. It means that like you say, I guess, hurtful things. All right. Idioms. We're going to move on from idioms now. We're going to look at the Bedouin people, that the stories about the Bedouin tribe. They tended to live in like northern Africa or the Middle East here in Saudi Arabia, where like Egypt, Saudi Arabia are nowadays, or modern day, that's kind of where they live at. It's about a family. It's like a nomadic, it's part of a nomadic tribe. Theme. So theme is a message about life or human nature that a writer wants you to understand. To me, a simple way to think about theme is kind of like, what advice might you give the characters in the story? And that can kind of help you generate a theme to start with. Comparing that to maybe main idea of what a story is mostly about. So the story we read this week is mostly about this girl, Nadia the Willful, who was a very strong personality, and her older brother dies, and just how her family deals with that loss is kind of the story, along with her kind of disobeying her father and the fear of that. So the theme would be the advice to the character. So the advice I would give to the character, specifically like Nadia and her father in this story, for me, the theme would be to talking about pain can help to ease it, maybe. I think that might be it. Like sharing about discomfort, or even like with someone that's, let's say someone that's passed away. So we talk about her dead brother. So talking to others about the dead can keep their memory alive. That's a pretty strong life lesson. Talking with others about the dead can keep the memory alive. So that could be a good theme there. Now I need evidence from the text to support that. So in the text, Nadia talks with her other brothers about the games that her oldest brother had taught her, and that helps to ease her pain. So that would be text evidence 1. Another piece of text evidence is when she goes to the women in the loom and she talks with them about her older brother Hamad and Hammond. I forget his name now. Anyways, she goes and talks with her older brother, or about her older brother, with these women at the loom, and that helps to ease. She feels more comfortable. It's easing her pain and grief about this, and she's able to remember her brother better. Then she goes and talks with the shepherds about it, and initially they're all afraid because her father said not to do this. And so when she talked to the shepherds, it's easing her pain, and she's able to remember him clearer. Finally, her father finds out and is about to like kick this guy out of their tribe, and she goes and she talks with him, and her father, she teaches her father, and realizes that when you talk about those that are gone, you can better remember them and keep their memories alive, and it also helps to ease your pain and suffering. So that would be the lesson learned here. And when she talked with her father, the shepherds, the women on their looms, and her other brothers. So those would be the 4 different people she talked to help teach that lesson, which you can use as your theme.